First of all, your users getting information in a totally different way, and that's going to continue. 4 years ago, Google, which is, one of the prime search engines, Google was getting 2.6 billion hits a month for information. 2.6 billion. Last month, they got 32 billion. And you want to know something? In 3 or 4, soon that's going to be 100 billion. Second is the way they communicate. I mean, if you look at young people today, and they're the ones that are leading the charge, the digital charge, they don't talk anymore, right? They don't even email anymore. The average 20-something emails 11 emails a day, but 100 texts a day. So what do? How do they communicate? They text, they Twitter, they tweet, they toot, they Facebook, they're LinkedIn, linked out, MySpace, Your Space, Zynga, Binga, Boonga, Banga, who knows what it is. You can make up a name and there's probably some website that they use it. So communication has totally changed. And the way big major companies are communicating with these customers is changing dramatically. TV advertising, TV and print, which used to be the way to get information to people, to try to sell it. TV advertising this year was $62 billion. Online advertising was $35 billion. Think about how fast that's happened. You know what we're projecting? In 3 years, online is going to be $80 billion. It's going to overtake TV and print advertising. And social media, which last year did $2 billion in advertising, by 2015 is going to do $8 billion. So now you got almost $100 billion the way big companies are communicating to their users, are trying to get new business, are giving out information, dramatically changing. Nike, they cut their TV budget down 40%, while at the same time increasing their ad budget to $2.4 billion. You know what they did? They used to spend $100 million on big events like the World Cup, the Super Bowl, so they could reach 200 million people. 200 million people are cracked by spending $100 million. Now, they can reach 200 million any day they want by using social communities, by using all the social media they have. They can reach that every day. How many of you have heard of the Aflac duck? Aflac, right? Do you know the Aflac duck, get ready for this, has 200,000 friends on Facebook? The duck. The way people buy has changed. I gave a talk 3 months ago to 4,000 techies, website designers, IT people, doing that. Average age, 14, something like that. And I said to them, the question I'm going to ask you now, who's the king of retail in America? Who would you say? Walmart. That's what most people say. 4,000 people, not one said Walmart. Not one said Walmart. What's happened? What did they say? Amazon. And you know where people are shopping nowadays? This. That's not my phone. They're using their own phones. They're estimating in 2 years, mobile shopping on mobile apps will be a $150 billion business. Do you know that people spend more per transaction with a mobile app than they do an online purchase? You go to Starbucks, you can pay with your phone, right? You go to the airline, you show your boarding pass, you do it with your phone. You're going to do everything, well, almost everything with your phone. All you got to do is look at giants in every area: high-tech, hotels, healthcare, banks, builders, retail, real estate. Everywhere you look, giants have become dinosaurs. Giants have missed great opportunities. Why? Because they kept using yesterday's thinking in today's game. They had their head in the sand. Think about it. For instance, how many of you here, you all have some kind of cell phone, right? How many of you have Nokia cell phones? Show of hands. How many of you know what a Nokia cell phone is? Okay. But I mean, the key is, if I would have asked that question 4 years ago, 46% of you would have had Nokia cell phones. How many of you have Motorola cell phone? You know, the Razor? Hey man, I'm cool, I'm that guy, the Razor, man. Like I'm in the hood, right? Again, huge. Up to 3 or 4 years ago, the telecom business was owned by Nokia, Motorola, and Research in Motion, BlackBerry. And we all seen what happened with BlackBerry. Now they're just tubing. Who's winning today? Right, Apple and Samsung. Really, a dramatic shift has occurred. What happened with Nokia and all those guys? They kept thinking they had it made, man. Their heads stuck in the sand. They kept using yesterday's stuff. They got passed by. That's how fast things change. Now, how many of you been to Blockbusters lately? Ooh. I mean, when I was a kid, just a way back example, but you know, when I was a kid, I grew up in New York City, we didn't have a car. So if you wanted to travel, the king of the road was Greyhound. Remember what Greyhound's motto was? Take the bus and what? Read the dive into us. Right, I know. How many of you done that lately? I mean, you got to be like Rambo to even go into a bus terminal these days, right? I made a list one time, I want to tell you, a workshop I did, of all the companies that got passed by that we all know. I want to tell you it was 2 pages long. Ones that we would immediately identify. So, you know, that's a key thing, is you can't keep using yesterday's thinking in today's world. We did research on companies and individuals that excel in a challenging time. And one of the things that we found was the companies that excel in these times, they do not respond quickly to change. In other words, they don't respond quickly to change. The companies that win in these times, and the people that win in these times, they don't respond quickly to change, they create the change. They are the ones that are out in front of the wave, not always trying to keep up with the wave. They are the ones that are proactive, not reactive. They are the ones that are making things happen rather than waiting for it to happen. They are the ones that are, you know, constantly leading as opposed to following. And we call those people change ready. You know, you talked about change, Tanya. The people that win are what we call change ready. And change ready people are doing 2 basic things. One is they're constantly challenging the status quo. They're constantly challenging the status quo, the way it's always been done. They're always looking for, where are the sacred cows in our operation? The old policies and procedures and practices and systems and strategies that we've always used, the way we've always done things, but which are now outdated. So we're going to have a little sacred cow hunt here a little later. So you're going to get, you know, get a little experience of looking for, where are these cows that slow us down, cost us money, take us time, and prevent change and innovation. So the first thing is always looking to challenge the status quo. The second thing is they're always looking for bold, innovative, out-of-the-box, new ideas, new opportunities, and new possibilities. So that's what being change ready is. It's rethinking the rules of the game. It's redefining your role with your customer, and it's always looking to reinvent the game. Rethinking, redefining, reinventing. That's what it's about today, my friends. That's the only way to keep ahead. I'll give you an example. Listen to these 2 quotes. The senior vice president of Ford, prior to the whole stimulus adding thing a couple of years ago, said, you know, when they were really tubing, said, you know, we always prided ourselves as being rapid responders. Rapid response. We always prided ourselves at Ford at being rapid responders. But what we finally realized is being a rapid responder meant we were too what? Too late and too slow. Contrast that, the rapid responder, contrast that to one of the executives at Apple that I spoke to, and I asked, why do you think Apple is so successful? He said, because we don't wait for new opportunities, we what? We create them. He said, if you wait, you're too late. If you wait, you're too late. So that's what basically being change ready is. Rethinking, redefining, reinventing constantly innovating. Lady Gaga, ever heard of her? Lady Gaga. You know what the rules were in order to be successful as a pop singer? You had to get in the top 100 radio stations. Man, you had to be on there, but they wouldn't cover the poor lady. So you know what she did? She used mobile technology. She used social networking. She went on other people's websites. She used Twitter. She used YouTube. You know, all the new stuff. She didn't even go to the radios. And now you can't turn on the radio for 10 minutes without hearing her. She's singing with Tony Bennett, you know. And again, challenge the old rules. Rosetta Stone, they took over from Berlitz, used to be the big one. Now Rosetta Stone's bigger. You know what they did? They started understanding what I talked to you before. People are learning differently. It's much more interactive. So they took a big leap there, won the whole thing. So, you know, all kinds of examples. Oh, and how about the most innovative company in the world is who? Is Apple, right? They challenged all the old thinking in the game. First of all, the first thing they did was they challenged the idea of a computer company. You know, computer company, remember your computer used to be this gray box. Remember that? It used to be this ugly little gray box. So what Steve Jobs did was he combined two things that had never been combined before. He combined technology with what? Design, right. Made it sexy. You know, when he came out with the iMac, the iPod, the iPad, the iPhone, and all the competitors are doing what's next, right? I mean, it's like crazy. You know what, so if you were thinking about Apple, what kind of company would you say they are? Inventive, what else? Anything else? You know what I think Apple is? Apple, what kind of company is? Cool. Isn't that right? Apple's like a cool company. How many of you, for instance, got iPhones? Man, you guys are cool. You may not get reception all the time, but man, you're really cool. But I mean, tremendous. And look at Apple stores. How many of you have been to an Apple store? Right, they've totally changed retail. They are the fastest retailer ever to reach $1 billion. They've been in business under 10 years. They're doing $8 billion, constantly increasing. They've broken all the rules. Where old computer stores used to be, you know, your parking lot, you drive in, they're in the center of the mall, they're in the center of the action. And you go into Apple and everybody can write you up, right? You know, you go into any guy standing there, boom, he's got his little dump, and you're out of there. So everybody's selling, makes it much easier for you. But also, the Apple store is like a hangout. Isn't it? It's like a community. Man, you go there, it's like a happening. You go there, man, there's action. You know, there's 3 guys over in the corner doing boo-boo, bop-bop, doing a little rap thing over there. You got somebody else writing a book. You got somebody else over there practicing a new computer. You got a couple of people having sex in the corner. You know, I mean, man, it's like incredible stuff that's going on. And they've broken all the rules and changed what retail is all about. The most important thing for a leader and for everybody is passion. You got to have fire. You got to have passion. You got to be excited. When you come with a new idea, you got to be stoked. You got to be pumped, because that's what influences people. You know, they used to talk about selling. Giving speeches, the same thing. They said the most important characteristic when they rated people in all areas was enthusiasm. which is, the Greek word was infused with energy. You know, you talk about energy and excitement. You know, that's what you got. You had a lot of good ideas you're getting in this meeting. You got to pick one that's really working and, you know, go with it, man. Be enthusiastic. Be pumped up about it. But I want to tell you, the last thing I want to talk about is, you know, fire. And firing people up is the most important thing. But, you know, the most common response to change and innovation and new ideas and new opportunities is not fire, it's the fire hose. You know what the fire hose is? It's the voice of experience that's always telling you why your ideas won't work, can't be done, not in the budget, it's going to cost too much, the business ain't there, the industry's flat. Did you ever go to a meeting like that?